Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel Pick Up Books. I am Komal and in today's video I'll be recommending two books on a very grim topic. It is about life and death, and what makes these two books beautiful is that they are based on real life events. These two individuals have inspired millions and millions of people, and I hope these book recommendations are helpful to you as well. So without any further delay, let's move into the video. The first book is Tuesdays with Morrie by Mitch Albom. Morrie Schwartz was Mitch Albom's favorite college professor. At the start of the novel, Albom recalls a memory of his college graduation day. He is saying goodbye to Morrie and also promises to keep in touch with him, but he never does that after college. Since his graduation, Mitch Albom has become a newspaper reporter and a husband. He lives a very fast-paced life. He is constantly working and traveling. He is so engrossed in his life that it consumes most of his time. 16 years after Mitch's graduation day, Morrie has since been diagnosed with amyotrophic lateral sclerosis or ALS. Since Morrie's diagnosis, he began to jot down his ideas and thoughts. He also wrote philosophies about living, knowing that death was near. His story was featured on the show Nightline, and Mitch Albom happened to watch that episode and he recognized his old professor. He called him up and he set up a visit. Mitch began visiting Morrie every Tuesday, and the purpose of their meetings was to discuss Morrie's view on the meaning of life. Their discussions ranged hugely from world, regrets, death, love, friendship, happiness, money, aging, and so many other valuable life lessons. With each lesson, Morrie became increasingly sick, and during their last visit, Morrie was bedridden and he was near to death. As he and Mitch hugged for one last time, Morrie saw that Mitch was finally crying. Now let's see a quote from this book, which is my favorite quote. So here it is. So many people walk around with a meaningless life. They seem half asleep even when they're busy doing things they think are important. This is because they're chasing the wrong things. The way you get meaning into your life is to devote yourself to loving others. Devote yourself to a community around you. And devote yourself to create something that gives you purpose and meaning. And the second book is When Breath Becomes Air. When Breath Becomes Air is neurosurgeon Paul Kalanithe's heartbreaking memoir about life and death. It was written in the last year of the author's life while he was diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer. The memoir recounts Kalanithe's story, beginning with the onset of his symptoms. The book then takes the readers back in time to trace his development from a bookish teenager to a student to a talented and well-trained resident with a bright future in neurosurgery. His cancer diagnosis derailed his career, but it gave him time to write this memoir which circles about life and death and what it means to be a human when an illness alters one's identity. The interplay between life and death is most important theme in this memoir. Death appears in many forms in this memoir. First, it takes the shape of a cadaver in an anatomy class. Then it takes the form of underdeveloped bodies of premature twins, and eventually it takes the shape of tumor in Paul's lungs. Here is a quote that Paul Kalanithi has written beautifully. So here it is. The tricky part of illness is that as you go through it, your values are constantly changing. You try to figure out what matters to you, and then you keep figuring it out. It felt like someone had taken away the credit card and I was having to learn how to budget. You may decide you want to spend your time working as a neurosurgeon, but 2 months later, you may feel differently. 2 months after that, you may want to learn to play the saxophone or devote yourself to the church. Death may be a one-time event, but living with terminal illness is a process. That's it for today's video. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, you know the drill. Hit the like button, share it with your friends, and subscribe to my channel. I'll be back pretty soon. Until then, take care, bye bye, and happy reading.